Welcome back to the SA Sports Show. My very special guest, Kim Huster.
How are you, mate?
I'm going extremely well, mate. You are well after the weekend?
Yeah, I'm okay. Couple of losses.
Couple of losses.
Couple of losses.
Always helps. Always terrific. Always it makes a great weekend.
Yeah, it does.
We'll talk a bit more about that a little bit later on, though. We'll talk a bit of AFL. I know you're looking forward to that part of it. But we've got some very special guests in with us today. Obviously, our regular, the chief of the SFL. Nice to see you, mate.
Yeah, good.
Had a good weekend. You had a big weekend, you guys.
We had a big weekend in Strathalbyn, yeah.
You had a win.
And a win.
And Katrine, Hildyard, our opposition sports minister, sitting next to us, Kimbo. Now,
it's lovely to
how
join you.
well have we done here?
Well, I don't know.
A bit better looking than Phil Smart.
I was about to say that.
That's very kind.
Sure.
Got more hair.
Sorry, Phil. It's lovely to join you. It's
It's nice to have you
here.
in. How is life in the opposition sports area?
Well, it's interesting. It's wonderful. Obviously, we went to an election in March, and first and foremost, it was just absolutely wonderful and very humbling to be re-elected by my own community in the south. And I guess being a shadow minister, you just remain very focused and determined to progress all of the things that you think are really important, that your community tells you are really important for sport and rec. So very focused on doing that however I can.
Opposition sports minister, you're obviously a big sport fan.
Absolutely.
You get to a lot of you would get to a lot of really good sporting events with that tag, the opposition sports minister.
I absolutely do, and I think in the south we're really blessed to have a whole lot of great community clubs that really include people and keep people active and engaged. So obviously I get along to a lot of sport there, including to a number of the SFL games that I've had a long association with, and then as many of the different codes that I possibly can. I really enjoy it, and I really have a very strong belief in the power of sport to really include people in communities. So great support. That was certainly an important avenue in my childhood to have a great sense of belonging. So
well, you're under enormous pressure here today because there's a lot of people out there that are going to be waiting with bated breath for your tips on the AFL.
Gosh.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that in a moment. We'll give you a little time to study.
Excellent. Thank you.
But we're going to come back to you very shortly,
Excellent.
and we're going to find out who you like for the weekend. You obviously walked in with the biggest smile on your face that I've seen in a while. You had a great win on the weekend.
Mate, look, first of all, can I thank the Strathalbyn Footy Club for what they presented and how we were received at the association game against our neighbours, Great Southern. Poor old Gordy, he's not talking to me anymore because he was adamant he was going to take the Pillmore Cup back from us. But what an absolute cracker game of footy. Talking to a couple of people who've been around football for a long, long time, that's a good a standard of country footy that they've seen for a long, long time.
Okay.
And our patron, John Hall, who's probably the doyen of football in the south, he can't remember a better game. Probably the one he picked out was 26 years ago when, after a long losing streak, the Southern boys got over the Great Southern by 3 points at Strathalbyn again.
Okay.
So, but no, look, a terrific day. Started off with the women. For the Jan Beige Cup, and a quick shout out to Jan, a stalwart of both leagues.
Absolutely.
And her husband was recognised with an OAM in the Queen's Birthday Honours. So to the Beige family, congratulations on that. So Great Southern won the girls' game and the under-17s. We picked up the prize of the Pillmore Cup for the A grade and the Panther Shield for the under-15s. But just getting back to the game, final scores 17-7 to Southern, 15-8 to Great Southern. So a terrific game of footy, 30 odd goals kicked in a game of footy.
Yeah.
The ball was up and down like a yo-yo. Really good for us, the fact that three-quarter time we were 20 points down. Great Southern kicked the first one, so 10 minutes in we were 26 points down and finished up kicking 8-1 in the last quarter. So a really, really good result for us, and congratulations to Paul Crate and everyone involved.
Absolutely.
What were the conditions like down there?
Oh, mate, you couldn't wish. Not a breath of breeze. Of course, they've just had that big upgrade with the new AFL facilities, etc. And couldn't wish for a better place to play footy.
It's a very good oval, but it's probably not as good as Yankalilla. the home of the mighty Tigers, where I played all my junior footy from. And I'm disappointed that the Great Southern didn't get up and beat you.
Well, that's a bit harsh. Isn't it?
Controversial.
It's a very good start of the day.
Well, because that's 2 in a row for us.
Yeah, that's why I said it's disappointing. When you're talking that game, standard players, many ex-SNFL players play in that game? Was there many?
Yeah, there was from our perspective, we had Sam Smith, who used to play for Sturt, Michael Shearer, Bradley Kirk, were from West Adelaide.
Yep.
Brent Ellis, who played last 2 seasons for the Eagles, he was captain of the Great Southern side.
Right.
So, yeah, there's some good sprinkling of talent.
Okay, you've bragged enough. That's enough, all right? You've had a win, you've come in here, you've bragged about it, you've upset the guys at Great Southern. Let's get into the weekend coming up. We're back now, we're back on board. Cove versus Noarlunga. 6 versus 5.
Yep, this is going to be played down at Windy Park, down at Cove.
Don't call it that. Don't call it that.
Mate, I've got to tell you, it's the coldest place I've
very
been
cold.
to. When that wind blows off the ocean,
You're a pussy.
unbelievable. Unbelievable.
You're a pussy. Cove Noarlunga. Very
Cove
quickly.
Noarlunga. Look,
Yep.
I'd fancy Noarlunga in that one, even though it is played at Cove's home ground. Cove need to actually get a win, and we'll probably have their coach in so you can have a quiet word in his ear, Baz, next week. If they happen to lose, he won't be in a very good mood.
Good
so
point.
be prepared.
Yeah, good point.
But no, I think Noarlunga
think you're right.
had a bit of a rough start to the season, but now in the last couple of weeks before the association, found their mojo, so to speak.
Okay.
Flaggies and Christies, 1v2 be a big game.
This will be a good game. Flaggies had pretty good representation in our association side. So did Christie's to that degree. So it'll be interesting to see how the boys back up. Flaggies at home, always hard to beat. So I'll stick with the Flaggies in that one.
I'd say
Okay.
Christie's for that one.
Ooh, Port Noarlunga, Morpeth Vale. That's 3v9. Morphet's struggling a fraction.
Yeah, but if you look at the last result prior to the association weekend, they only lost to Ranella by 3 goals. So that's a big turnaround for them. Porties at home, I know they played them in a trial game early in the year and there wasn't much in it. If there's going to be an upset, this could be the game. But Porties at home, I think, in that one.
Ranella Aldinga 4 and 8. Will it be a bit of a...
No, well, Ranella should win by those statistics, but when you look at the way Aldinga have been playing their footy, they've been ultra competitive. So they haven't been the really bad losses that they've had in previous years. And of course, again, they've got a pretty good record at Ranella, believe it or not. So
They want to have.
and if it's going to be wet, watch out for the shark, Bez.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, we can move on to this. This is it.
Oh, the
You-
important stuff.
I'm
This
ready.
is where you either
This is
upset.
make or break.
Yep.
I'm
this is
ready.
it. Thursday
Can you help
night,
me?
Port and the Bulldogs.
Port.
Whoa.
Straight off the bat.
On Friday, the Swans Geelong, Swans West Coast, I beg your pardon.
West Coast, I reckon.
In Sydney, yep.
Yes.
Okay. Saturday, Carlton and the Dockers.
Sorry, Craig. The Dockers.
Yeah, okay. Suns and Saints.
The Saints.
Ooh, that's a big one. Hawks v Crows.
Hawks.
What?
Hawks.
Sorry.
You're a Port supporter.
I am a Port supporter.
You've only just worked that out. Unbelievable.
They're everywhere,
You're
mate.
South Australian?
They're everywhere.
You're South Australian?
Sunday, the Cats v Richmond.
That's
a
hard,
big one.
That's a hard one,
big
but
one.
I reckon Richmond.
Okay. Now, next week we're going to find out just how good you are.
Yes,
I think you've
indeed.
done well. I would have done exactly the same thing there. So
thanks,
I think
Baz.
you've done extremely well.
Excellent.
Thanks for joining us today. We really
It's lovely
appreciate
to
that.
join
and to
you.
you, mate. We'll see you
Next week.
We'll see you
and
next
be
week.
prepared because Brett's coming in to
and
see
be
you.
prepared. I'm always
On
prepared, mate.
lookout.
I'm like a Boy Scout.
It's lovely to join you. Thank you for
I'm like
having
a Boy
me.
Scout. Thanks for coming in. Really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Really nice to
We'll
see
be
you.
back soon. Thank you.